Eyes of Duty.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off.
Oha.
Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good.
Aha, eine Schwebetrage? Okay. Noch nie
You
gesehen.
gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Ja, Leute, herzlich willkommen zu Star Trek Resurgence. 3. Folge.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermott?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time.
Yes.
As of now, however, we're successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear.
Okay.
Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Jetzt gibt es mal eine Abreibung.
You disobeyed my orders. Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information
You
I had.
disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So,
Exactly.
just boil it down to, you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Komm, wir sind freundlich zu Ihnen noch, komm.
You placed a lot of trust in me, bringing me here. I feel like I've let you down.
I brought you here for a reason. I'm still sure it was the right one. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermott, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Ja, okay. Leute, ich finde es ganz cool. Das Spiel gefällt mir gut. Irgendwie. Die Story und so ist doch okay. Und da müssen halt solche schwierigen Entscheidungen getroffen werden in so einem Spiel, dass man auch eine Entscheidung fällen kann. All I ask is a tall ship. Okay.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Ja.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches.
Jetzt geht's ab.
We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Geht schon. Ja, ist schon echt hässlich. Also. Irgendwie. Die Grafik. Das ist jetzt schön. Geil. Das ist wieder ein bisschen hässlicher.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me?
Yeah, engage, do it, make my way, make way. I come engage.
Engage.
Oh ja. Juhu.
Simple, but effective.
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look fine.
Mhm, er weiß Bescheid. Oh verdammt, was hat sie eigentlich so genau?
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Kann es nicht ein bisschen früher angezeigt werden?
me get her inside.
Guck noch.
Well, that was quite a scare.
Okay.
A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Na gut.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your diridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
Rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the diridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet, and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
Well, there's no Erico.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Kobliad, to represent my people.
As you should be. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. But the more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
And my work here is done.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay.
Ja, aber trotzdem.
I didn't want to intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here. We were all worried about you. Or I should say I was. I wasn't sure what was happening at first. But then I realized it was your condition.
You sure you didn't come here to gloat? Remind me that you saw this coming the moment I stepped on board.
Make no mistake, I like being right, and I won't be quiet about it when I am. But it didn't happen at the worst time. You made it through that. So I guess I was wrong. And a bit of a jerk.
Yes, sir.
You trusted my intuition earlier, with the deflector pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
Well, thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing.
Mhm.
She's come by a couple of times to see you already. Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again.
Wie er schon da liegt, ey.
I was
Jetzt
starting to
sieht
get
so bequem
worried.
aus, oder?
Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
Ah, come on. You know you can't get rid of me that easy.
Don't push me, Diaz. You do not want to see me try.
No, nope. I am not getting on your bad side.
I am a formidable enemy. Nilly was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now,
Ja.
I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse, leaving it unsaid.
Wait, are you angry at me or something?
Oh, no, not that. I'm sorry. I'm probably making too big of a deal here. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Oh. Ich kenn die gar nicht. Die sieht auch komisch aus. Ja, komm, na gut, komm.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Komm.
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Irgendwie fühlt sich's komisch an, oder? Keine Ahnung, ich weiß nicht. Irgendwas komisch. Das wirkt aufgesetzt. Das ist wie wenn man jemandem das Du anbietet. Ja? Und sich dann trotzdem weiterhin sieht. So. Irgendwie. Cast. Drift.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ach, scheiße.
Ionic interference
Das
surging, Captain.
Feld. Ja. Danke.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Wir müssen den linken Stick hier drehen.
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
We won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Ihr könnt immer so ein Faktor
Diaz,
machen mit so einem
you good to run the tractor emitter?
starken Magnetfeld einfach.
Yes, sir.
Oder?
You sure?
Ein gezieltes Magnetfeld?
I'm sure.
USS Excelsior.
Come on, Diaz. First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Ja. Okay. Gut.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Letzte noch, nein. Nein, weg, weg, mach's weg. Mach's weg. Okay, oh Gott. Aber die hätte wahrscheinlich gebremst sogar. Overflug.
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it. Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Ja. Wie die Spiele verstehen.
Got it.
Whoa! Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Okay. Also, jawohl. Ich hätte ruhig lauter applaudieren, das gibt mehr Action.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Okay. Ei.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock. The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
That was a bumpy ride. Are you all right, sir?
There are some elements of space travel that I would prefer to have left in my youth. But I am, at present, unharmed by the ordeal. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
Oh Gott, wie der aussieht.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from upstairs.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space. but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical. Petty Officer...
Carter Diaz. Sir.
Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Der läuft wie so eine gestellte Vogelscheu hier irgendwie, geht das Bock. Ja, also, okay, irgendwie, naja. Ist auf jeden Fall cool. A provocation. Wow. Okay. Ich mag das, wenn man von draußen reinzoomt und dann durch die Glasfenster wieder ins Raumschiff geht.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Ilidia and Hotari. Ilidians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Ilidians have shared a mining operation there. The Ilidians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force.
Klar.
The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Ilidians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Yeah, have the Ilidians retaliated?
Have the Ilidians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence. But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Ilidian fleet in open war.
Okay.
Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
Yeah, that is correct.
The Hotari just won their independence. It's hard to believe they would give that up just for profit.
I agree. It would be exceedingly difficult to bring the Hotari to that position.
Neither the Illidians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention.
Yeah.
In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illidians as a source of dilithium.
Okay.
That certainly changes things.
The Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
We won't be trusted, würde ich mal sagen, ja.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Illidium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illidian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
Yeah.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't?
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Okay.
Ambassador Spock,
Yeah,
I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
Hey.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
Yeah.
With all due respect, Ambassador, I'm not a trained diplomat.
That's exactly what we're going to leverage.
I began my time in Starfleet as a science officer, not as an ambassador. We must be adaptable in the line of duty.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Okay, Leute, ja, cool. Ich fand's wieder gut. Halt, stopp. Jetzt gucken wir mal ein bisschen an. Hier, Ambassador Spock, der lacht schon schön. Guck mal, schön. Hier nicht so gut. Da sieht man es. Guck mal. Sie ist ein bisschen skeptisch. Der Chobak, eher schlecht. Er guckt auch fröhlich. Ja, da guckt er auch fröhlich. Der Captain war es nicht so gut. Man kann es anhand der Gesichter erkennen, wie es zu einem steht. Ist ja nett. Okay, cool. Ist ja nett. Also die Größten mögen uns eigentlich, also zum Großteil. Commander Westbrook nicht ganz so gut. Ja, Commander Westbrook was ashamed of his behavior and felt Jara's sarcasm was more than warranted when he saw her outside of Steel Bay. Okay, cool. Mega cool. Es fehlt noch ein Charakter, wie ich das sehe. Wir haben alle kennengelernt, bis auf einen. Wahrscheinlich wird das dann einer von denen sein, die wir kennenlernen werden. Und ja. So diplomatischen Missionen, wo wir kein Diplomat sind. Ich finde es cool. Leute, ja, das war's. Lasst ein Like da, lasst ein Abo, da schreibt einen Kommentar unter die Glocke, damit ihr keine Folge mehr verpasst. Ich freue mich schon auf die nächste Folge. Das ist quasi wie so eine Episode Star Trek Next Generation anschauen, oder? Voll gut. Macht's gut, meine Lieben. Und bis zum nächsten Mal dann. Ciao.